I'm Darren.
Hi, I'm Gordon.
And we're the two gay reefers. Hey reefers, welcome to today's update. Today we're looking at Reefzilla and it's finally complete and it's been up and running for how long now?
About 2 months? November, end of October, early November I think, so maybe 3 months.
We'll dive in and show you what we've completed on it, how it's all running. So this is our new Refugium light. So this is the Illumin Magic Blaze Mini, especially set up for a Refugium, and it gives a nice pink glow to everything there. Makes our filter cups look very bright and beautiful. So we've got a little pump pushing that round to make it rotate like that. It's tumbling quite nice. I think it's probably doubled about in size.
Yeah, it looks about double in size, yeah.
So we also finished off cable management.
Flashback.
Hey reefers, we're here today just finishing off the last bits of Reefzilla behind us.
Finally.
What are we doing?
Taken way too long. Alright, so today we are doing some cable management, so we're getting all of our power sorted out. At the moment we have this big pile of cords that look ugly, looks dangerous. It's just not right.
It's sitting next to the tank.
It's sitting next to the tank, coiled up in this boil of wire like this. We have a... power board that we're going to mount to the tank. So it's got all the switches across the front, all the outlets on the back, which will make things nice and easy. The return pump on Reefzilla doesn't have a controller. So the only way you can turn it on and off is physically by unplugging it and plugging it back in again. So this means we can actually just switch off the pump and we're done.
And switch it back on again.
And switch it back on when we're done.
And then after we get all that done, we can actually put sides on the stand. You guys don't know we have sides, but yes, it's got sides.
Right, so that's today's 2 jobs. Let's get on with it. We are going to have to drill some holes into the frame. So we've covered up the sump with a drop sheet so no little bits of metal can fall in there. Alright guys, so we cut out a fair bit there because of a few swear words that things weren't going quite to plan. But as you can see, we now have the power board there ready to go. We'll put some labels underneath everything. We've gone to IKEA and got this cable management little frame thing. So we're going to put all the cables through that to run them out through the back of the tank. So far so good. We've had a few little hiccups along the way, but nothing too major.
End of flashback.
As you can see, the final results are pretty good. We've got all the cables all nicely put up there. We have this fancy switch box there. Unfortunately, not all the lights work on that to show that the switches are on.
So the return pump that we use, the Laguna 16000, plugging into this allows us just to turn it on and off with a simple switch.
We've also got the auto top-off reservoir here. So we've got a little auto top-off pump in there as well. Under the filter cups here, the 2 on the sides just have filter wool, so it catches all the nastiness. The middle one actually has a bag of carbon in it. I'm planning to put just a bit of soft filter wool around that. We've still got a little bit of tweaking to do under here, I guess.
Yeah, the whole stump is actually designed to have a lot more water in it than what we decided to put into it. We realised we didn't really need that much water, we didn't really want that much water.
Over here we have our skimmer, our Bashi skimmer. So we've recently been tweaking this because it wasn't quite pulling enough out of there. We were skimming quite dry and the neck was getting filled up very quickly and we didn't realise it.
So the Bashi skimmers don't actually have their own dedicated pumps. It just does run off the Laguna pump that we have running the whole system.
So all in all, the sump is looking pretty good. Because we didn't actually cycle the tank from when we transferred everything over, it has gone through a small cycle. We've had a small bump in ammonia. We also had a small bump in nitrite. So we're using some Aquaforest products to deal with our nitrate problem. So we've got Pro Bio S and minus NP Pro. And what they actually do is they add probiotic bacteria to get rid of the nitrate and phosphate. When we did have our Red Sea tank up and running, we actually were using Nopox to try and deal with nitrate. We didn't feel it worked quite as well as we wish, so we thought we'd try something different on this tank. Fingers crossed, everyone. One of the favorite things that I like about the tank is the lovely Radion. So these are Gen 4s.
They do look absolutely fantastic, especially with the diffusers on them as well. Just gives that nice spread of light.
And we've put them across the tank to give better spread because it is a 3 foot wide tank, and it just means that we've got better coverage as well. Currently these bad boys are running on the AB Coral Grow Plus program. We have adjusted it a little bit. What we've done is, just so we've got a moonlight period and we've also got the colors popping when it's ramping up and down. We've also got the Color Plus program until the peak. Now onto the tank itself. So as I said, we've had a few hiccups. We've lost 1 or 2 corals, but surprisingly, we haven't lost a lot of stock, which is really, really good. And as you can see, the tank is starting to age quite nicely. The rock is no longer bright white. There is a little bit of green algae still happening, but surprisingly not a lot considering how high our nitrates are.
As you can see, we are starting to get a little bit of coralline algae on the back wall, and there's little bits of it popping up on the rocks here and there, which to me is a really, really good sign that the tank is coming along nicely. We're looking forward to seeing that whole back covered in that coralline algae. I can't say those words today. Coralline algae.
Coralline algae. Say it with me, everyone. Coralline algae. When we did first transfer everything across, the sand in that time did go really brown, but as you can see, our sand sifted gobies are legends. See, with our sand, there is nothing on it. It is pretty much spotless. With the tall aquascape we have here, there is no sand up the top. The gobies just can't be asked taking up sand that high and letting go of it. And then as you can see down here with our lovely soft corals, LPS corals here.
Helio, helio, helio.
Helio, helio, helio. They actually repel the sand themselves. So they do get a bit of sand on them, but because they're nice and big and healthy, they just shuck it off again. You can have these boys in a tank and have nice healthy corals as well without a lot of snow or sand covering them. Now let's have a look at new stuff in here. A few new corals, we've got new anemones, we've got quite a bit in here. Let's go through a few of our favorites. Probably the #1 favorite is our green neon finger leather. This is the same finger leather that was in the Red Sea Reefer and we nearly lost it. It actually got stung and started going black. We managed to save a little frag. As you can see, if you look closely, you can still see the little toothpick sticking out the stem of it. We've also got this nice little red gonny here that we pilfered from the jar reef. We also took out this lovely little aqua frog spawn as well, and it's starting to do really well.
We recently picked up a new anemone, crisper anemone from
Reef Secrets.
Reef Secrets, doing really, really well. The clowns took to it really quickly.
I took the other anemones out of the tank so they didn't have much of a choice. But once they found it...
Houdini loves it, it's his favourite. Itchy still loves his bubble tip, but Houdini just loves the crisper.
Another one we picked up at Reef Secrets here is this Alveopora. This has gone through a little bit of a battle. I've actually broken it in half. It was quite a big colony, and as you can see, there's a little bit of a dead spot in the middle, but no, it's coming back quite nicely there. Hey Diego, smile for the camera.
Not bad.
Nah, he's run away. Another one of our new purchases is this lovely rainbow trachea. As you can see here, it's actually sitting up on the point of its skeleton. So underneath we actually have the clam holder. So it's made out of the same stuff as frag plugs. What it is, it's just like a shallow dish with a bit of an indentation to help the clam stay upright. We did this on the advice of Shane Danger, one of our coral legends in Australia. He suggested if you have it on the point of its skeleton like this, each of the mouths can actually get more food, so the food doesn't just roll off. Acan echinata, which is beautiful and unusual, like green and orange and peach, all mixed up into one coral. It's a beautiful piece. We've got two Helios now, a bright neon green one and our purple and neon green one. They're quite a nice combo there. Now up the back here we have a little acro island, starting off with our little cactus coral that we've got from the Red Sea. So it's probably tripled in size and it's gone curly as all get out and is looking quite spectacular. Above that there we've got a deep burgundy acro. It's furry as, isn't it?
Yep, it's looking fantastic.
This was probably one of the first acros we put in the new tank. Real test of the health of our tank is if it stays as furry as it has been. And I don't think there's been one day where the polyps have not been out on this coral. It is furry as. Next to that as well, we have a little yellow acro. So I believe this is a Pikachu acro. Correct me if I'm wrong. But so far it's just intensified in colour and is looking quite beautiful. Next to that we have a lovely blue stag, several growth tips coming out the end. So as you can see, there's the main growth tip and then it's branching out near the end as well of each branch. Quite happy with that one, hoping that will fill out the space between the top of the rock and the top of the tank. As you can see, it's got a lot of growing to do there. One of the main features and a big beautiful coral that we got is this huge Duncan colony, and it is absolutely stunning. It did have a little bit of dieback at the back while we were waiting for Reefzilla to be finished so we could actually put it in there. It got stung by a nasty elegance at the shop. So at the back, we've used those dead branches to put a few acros on. So we've got a lovely little green bird's nest, and we're thinking this may be some sort of blue stag, bluey purpley stag. Up the back as well, we've got our Dallas acro. So this Dallas acro we had in the Red Sea, and it was actually doing quite poorly. As you can see, it does have some dead spots on it. From when we've put it in this tank to now, it's actually encrusted most of that dead skeleton. It's got a few bumps on it showing that it's ready to explode with growth. And we've got a fair bit of real estate on that back rock as well, waiting for the right acros to put on there. We were lucky enough to pick up this bluey green Ningaloo clam. So this is a clam from Western Australia. So they're just starting to become a bit more popular now in Australia. They're quite rare overseas. And the main difference between this and a normal Tridacna clam is it actually has bumps on the mantle, and it's got quite unusual colouring as well. So depending on the angle that you're looking at it, from the front it looks very blue, above it's got more of a greenish tinge, and it just keeps getting better and better. And we put it on the highest rock in the tank as well, so it can get as much light as it needs. Anyway guys, that's all we've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed that tour around Reefzilla. If you've got any suggestions though, chuck them down in the comments below. If you've liked this video, hit the subscribe button and the bell to notify you when our new video comes out.
Every Sunday, 8:30 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time.
As always, be excellent to each other and keep it salty everyone.
See you
Bye for
guys.
now.